Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be looking at the Star Wars The Black Series Ki-Adi-Mundi from Star Wars Attack of the Clones. Now this is a figure that we were waiting for around 2 years. I think that it's been 2 years since they announced this guy, and we were waiting for such a long time, and then finally when this guy was available, it was just a quick pre-order or order, and they shipped it the next day from Hasbro Pool CU, and it's now here. So we're gonna take a look at it, but before we take a closer look at the figure, here is the standard Black Series Galaxy type packaging, and this is the one that they will change with some of the upcoming releases. But for now, it's a standard packaging with a window here in the front, and then a nice side art illustration, and then here is the back with a short bio, and we can see that Ki-Adi-Mundi is number 4 in the Attack of the Clones. Nothing special from the other side, so let's now open it up and let's take a look at the figure. So here is our Ki-Adi-Mundi out of the box. I have to say that the figure really does look good. The sculpt overall is beautiful. It's a new sculpt. I don't think that anything here is reused. The proportions overall look good. I mean, he has a large head, which is accurate to how the character looks in the movies, and the body overall is clean. There is no dry brushing, no shading on it. Here is the back of the figure and then another side of the figure. So now let's take a closer look at the details. Here is a better look at the head sculpt. Hasbro really did a great job here. The way that all of these bumps are sculpted, and then the hair on the top going down here with this tail, and the wrinkles on the back of the head are also really well done. The face sculpt is beautiful. It is spot on. Ki-Adi-Mundi. Hasbro always does such a great job with these alien characters. Ki-Adi-Mundi is no exception. The eyes are really well painted. Eyebrows as well. There are kind of lines in those eyebrows. And then a nice sculpt of the beard with maybe a little bit of dry brushing on it. And then the lips are also really well painted. For the rest of the figure, we get his undersuit that is also really well sculpted with these wrinkles, and you can see the texture of the sleeves and then these lines going down all the way. The tunic also looks good. This is a softer rubbery type of plastic, so it gets out of the way, and same goes for this inner layer. The belt looks good. We have a silver painted buckle here and a port here for his lightsaber hilt. Here is the back of the figure. There's nothing much more happening on the belt here, but we see that the hood is sculpted and it's connected to the rest of the tunic, and it's sculpted in a nice way so that it really looks like it's draping down his back in a natural looking way. Same goes for this lower tunic skirt piece. That is really well done. His hands as well, which are sculpted in 2 different ways. So this is a gripping right hand, and then the left one is more like force using hand. So I love that asymmetry. I like when Hasbro does that. They did that for a few other previous figures. Padawan Ahsoka comes to mind, and I think a few others as well. And then here underneath we can see that there is this little pouch bag that is with this strap connected to the belt, or that's what it should be. It's not really connected, but it's all a part of the same sculpt of this under tunic. And then the legs, I don't know if you can see it, but this guy still has the tie cut. We'll get to that when we'll talk about articulation, but yeah, it is still here. And the pants look baggy, nothing special. And then the boots are also really well sculpted. You can see these buckles on the side, but they are not painted. It's all in a light brown color, and yeah, I mean, overall a really nice looking Jedi Master, and a great job on Hasbro's part. Now let's take a look at his accessories, and Ki-Adi-Mundi comes with only one accessory, that being his Jedi lightsaber. It's a hilt that is painted in silver, and we have only one black detail here. I mean, overall it's a fairly simple lightsaber hilt, nothing special. We have a pack here so that we can connect the hilt to his belt, and a nicely made blue translucent lightsaber blade that can be detached from the hilt, and you have that option. Now let's talk about his articulation. The head and the neck are on a double ball joint, so we have a great great range of motion in the head and the neck, as you can see. He can look down this much, which is really good, up this much. The head can tilt side to side and can rotate 360. Arms move out all the way and they rotate 360. We have a butterfly joint here that doesn't do much, but it is here. You can see it inside. There is no bicep swivel, but we have a swivel in the elbow, and look how deep this elbow joint goes, and that gives you a nice range of movement. Now keep in mind, this is a single joint in the elbow, but because the cut is so deep, you get a great range. So I'm really liking that. Now the other thing that I like with the articulation for this figure is the fact that they gave this guy ball joint wrists, and we can take the hand off, as you can see, and here we have our ball joint. Now this is something that I think the first time that Hasbro did this in the Black Series line was on those Figurin' Dan figures. If I remember correctly, Merrick also has this kind of joint, and it's something that we are usually seeing on imports like SH Figure Arts and Mafex figures, but now every now and then Hasbro decides to use this kind of ball joint wrist in the Black Series line. Now it's not the same as what we get on those import figures, because those are really ball joints that give you a nice range of movement. This one doesn't give you much. This ball joint barely moves at all, but because of the way that it's designed, when you attach the hand back, you do get a nice amount of movement. And the good thing about this kind of ball joint is that it allows the hand to move in any direction. So it's not a simple in and out or up and down hinge, which is the usual standard for this line, but instead this gives you a great range in any direction that you want. So I'm loving that, and I would actually almost say that I would love for this to become a standard in the Black Series line. And it's like that for both hands on this guy. For the waist, we get a cut behind the belt, which gives us side-to-side movement, a little bit of side-to-side tilt. He crunches forward slightly, almost nothing. Back is a bit better. Legs move out this much, they move forward this much, back this much, and then, as we saw earlier, we have a tie cut that gives us a swivel, and then a single joint in the knee that gives us this much, and the knee swivels. But then we also get a boot cut, and here we get another swivel point, which is surprising. I don't think that it was necessary because of the swivel in the knee, but it's always a good thing to have more articulation. That's just how I feel, because you guys know me, I enjoy posing these action figures. The feet move forward only this much, so they are really limited in forward movement, and then back you only get this much. This is probably the worst articulation point on this figure. The ankle rocker is nice, it's a standard, so at least that is good. And then here underneath we get the standard pec holes, so it's a really nice articulation. I have to say that I already messed around with this figure. I already recorded a posing video for this guy, and that one will be on the channel probably right after this video, so stay tuned for that. And I have to say that I really had a lot of fun with posing this guy around. Articulation is really smooth, and you can get a lot of nice and dynamic poses out of Ki-Adi-Mundi, so it's a great thing to have this kind of articulation for your Jedi, because you probably would want to pose him in some kind of dynamic action pose. So Hasbro really did a good job. Other than those ankles, everything is really nice and smooth, and I really enjoy messing around with this figure. Let's now compare Ki-Adi-Mundi with some other figures. Here he is with the Black Series Plo Koon and the Black Series Kit Fisto. Here he is with the Black Series Mace Windu and the Black Series Aayla Secura. Here he is with the SH Figure Arts Obi-Wan Kenobi and SH Figure Arts Anakin from Revenge of the Sith. Here he is with the SH Figure Arts re-released Qui-Gon Jinn. and the Black Series B1 Beldroid. And finally, here he is with the Black Series Phase 1 and the Black Series Phase 2 Clone Trooper. And so, final thoughts, as I said, I really enjoyed this figure. It's a great new sculpt, a great articulation. It gives you a lot of posing options. The figure goes great with the rest of the Jedi that we got in the Black Series line and even in the SHF line. So this is a great addition to your Jedi shelf. As I said, I already made a posing video for this figure, so stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, I would really love to hear you guys. What do you think about Ki-Adi-Mundi? Do you have him in your collection or do you plan on getting him? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, special thank you to my supporters on Patreon and to all the rest of you guys. Thank you all so much for being here with me. Thank you for watching my videos, and I'll see ya in the next one.